Hi, I'm Gayla. After 20 years of climbing the corporate ladder, I took the leap and started my own business to pursue my dream of creating a work-from-anywhere lifestyle. Having the freedom to work from practically anywhere is such a cool feeling. You're in the right place if you're looking for ideas and inspiration to start and grow your own online business. Every week in this podcast, you'll receive practical ideas, hints, tips, and tricks to help you grow your online business where you can leverage your time and you can accomplish more. You too can experience wonderful adventure and freedom as you live life on your own terms. Welcome to today's show. I am so glad you're here. Now, I'll be quite honest here. Sometimes for this show, when I'm doing the show by myself, I feel lonely. And I feel like I'm just, speaking out into space. And I don't like to talk at you. But that's sometimes just what happens is that I have stuff on my mind and I want to share. And so I do these shows by myself. But today is different. Today, I corralled my husband, Robert, to be on the show. Hey, Robert.
Hello.
How you doing?
Excellent.
My notes on
It's a beautiful day for a podcast.
It is a beautiful day for a podcast. It sounds like a song.
Well, it could be.
It could be. Well, I corralled you to be on the show because, well, first of all, it's pretty convenient to get you for an interview. And you've been on the show before.
Yeah.
And you talked about tech stuff that I don't know.
Mind-blowing technology.
Yeah, mind-blowing stuff that I just don't get. But working from anywhere, the nuances of that. We had some past shows when it was this spring when we were out west. And, we live in a small space. We work in a small space. We kind of go from everywhere. We're always together, so it's pretty easy to...
It's convenient.
Yeah, it's convenient.
It's convenient.
But there was a purpose why I wanted you on the show.
And?
Well, on our listeners for this show, they're wanting to start and grow an online business. They like the concepts of work from anywhere. So, and there's just, being able to grow and scale your business in a different way, using technology and sometimes the fear of technology. But there is a lot to go into building a business. And some of the things that I talk about, like networking and social media, websites, and all of that, it kind of gets overwhelming. And there are some folks that listen to this podcast that are transitioning. They have their day job.
Going to town on his eye.
That was Lucy. People that our listeners, you got me all discombobulated, so let me start again.
And go.
Our listeners take 3. Some of our listeners are transitioning and going from a day job and really like the idea of a work from anywhere or using online to have more flexibility and freedom. And they're stuck on maybe what to do. And that's why I wanted to bring you onto the show.
Oh.
Yeah, because all of these concepts in building a business really translates into the creative field a lot. And you are very creative.
Well, I try.
You've transitioned recently into a personal brand, and I'm all about personal brands. You have your brand new website.
I do.
Of?
robertscrivener.com.
Exactly.
There's not another one. It's just me.
Yeah, there's more than one Robert Scrivener.
There
I know.
is. There is.
There's at least 3 since you're the 3rd.
Yeah.
And but anyway, you had several different websites of your interest, of your hobbies, of different things. You had one for your ham radio, one for, what did you have? You had
film, photography type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to add one to that.
And then you're like, can I just have one website?
Yeah.
And that's when
music and our travel and also leatherwork stuff. So I wanted to just combine them all into one.
Well, and I didn't think that, I know that all the advice out there is to say, pick one thing and go with it. And so that is so hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're trying to grow a business and do that one thing and have that complete focus, I understand that. But at the same time, when you have your day job, because your day job is Scrivener Solutions.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is. But for what you want to do on the side that has the potential of earning income, I think that you need to explore. And so that's why exploring under your own personal brand for people to learn who you are and everything. So you just have a .com for your name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's kind of separated into 4 main categories. Your
leatherwork,
mm-hmm.
music, photography, and something else. Ham radio.
Ham radio. Yeah.
So there's your 4 major food groups. I mean,
that is your 4 major groups.
Yeah.
For you. And you have developed a following that has some of these same groups, maybe not all 4, but 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
And you're becoming friends with these individuals. It's kind of cool to find your people. Yeah.
Yeah, like-minded. My people.
Yes, your people, like-minded people. And it doesn't have to be so stiff and businessy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about where we just came from.
Okay.
We just came back from a trip to Indiana. And why did we go? Where did we go?
We went to Conner Prairie.
What is that?
Well, it's just outside of Indianapolis, for
Mm-hmm.
those that don't know. I don't know really what it is.
Well, it's part of the Smithsonian Institute network of, I want to call it like a living history museum.
That'd be a great thing.
Because there are exhibits, mostly outdoor exhibits, that bring you back to a period of time in history, like around the Civil War, and where else? Just not the fur trade era. It was after that. Was it the fur trade?
William Conner was fur trade.
Okay.
I paid attention to that part.
Well, you did. There was homesteads.
I was in
trading
school
posts.
for 9 hours a day.
Yes.
For 5 days, so I didn't get to explore there.
What brought us to Conner Prairie were classes you wanted to sign up for. Tell us about those classes.
Leatherworking classes.
Okay, why leatherworking? You have been doing leatherworking.
I have. I like it. It's my escape.
It's not...
Not just any leatherwork.
Yeah, what do you specialize in?
Fur trade era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could go back to 1750s if you want to about 1840.
Okay.
That style.
So what kind of leather work is in that era?
You got accoutrements.
Okay, what are
small little things that go inside a bag for your shooting loading blocks.
Okay.
Little small bags, sewing kit bags, anything to do with bags.
Okay, so leather bags is your thing. But what are they called? Hunting pouches?
That's different.
Oh.
Accoutrements is the small stuff that goes in there.
Okay.
It's the stuff to take care of your bigger stuff.
Okay.
And then knife making sheaths.
Yes.
Knife making sheaths. Leather knife sheaths that are made.
What else?
Leather hunting pouches.
Okay, so hunting pouches are
That was a 3-day class.
Okay. Okay, so you had 3 classes, a day of say that again?
Accoutrements.
Accoutrements. And then you had
Knife.
a whole
sheath.
day of knife sheathing.
Knife sheath making. Knife sheathing.
I'm making up words here.
I can tell. It's not going very well.
And then you had 3 days of hunting pouches. Was that the only classes there offered? Is it just in October?
That's the only one I took. Only ones I took. There is engraving on guns.
Okay.
Gun building. Horn making, as in powder horns.
Powder horns, okay.
Scrimshaw, stuff like that on there. Blacksmithing. So
all
making tomahawks, knives, all that stuff.
So people were making knives right there.
Yes, right there.
In a neighboring classroom.
Yes.
Are all of these the techniques of olden days?
Yes. That's why they have the class.
Nice. Nice. Now, who was your instructor?
Ken Scott. He's an artist.
Yes.
Of many different things.
Were you nervous about going?
I was.
How come?
I don't know. But I'm glad I went.
Yeah. You went because
That's what I wanted to do.
you wanted to learn from the best because Ken Scott has.
Exactly.
But what had happened during the class, there were several other folks. You met some other people. It wasn't a big class.
No, he limits to 10 at max.
Mm-hmm.
10 people.
And who else did you meet? And what kind of interesting things happened?
Eddie Rector
Okay.
was another fellow hunting pouch maker from Kentucky.
Does he make a lot of pouches?
He makes a lot of pouches. He made 5, I think, that week.
Wow.
That's all he does is back there sewing. When he ain't sewing, he's driving.
And then
Talking about drums, and he's a drummer.
Wow.
So we had some stuff in common.
So does he sell these pouches?
Oh, yes.
And there is a market for these hunting pouches?
Evidently, yes.
Mm-hmm.
People like stuff that's handmade, hand-stitched, made to look old.
Yeah. They're brand new bags, but you age them to
Age them, nicely.
Now, back in the 1700s,
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't they get like a brand new bag that wasn't like, it would be pristine, wouldn't it?
Back then, yeah.
So why are you making them look old if you were trying to think, hey, I'm from the 1700s? And
You got to portray an image.
Oh, I get you.
Can't go to a rendezvous wearing a cell phone, and it's just not the same today. You got to hide that stuff or incorporate it into something that's hidden.
So tell me about the rendezvous. What are they?
It's where the fur traders came to, sell their wares, their pelts that they collected to people back east in exchange for goods. So
it's kind of like, there are a lot of events all over the country for rendezvous, and it's kind of like maybe a Civil War reenactment, but for fur trade, or instead of a Renaissance festival, it's a rendezvous. People dress up in their fur trade era and then trade goods.
Yes.
Okay. Not everybody understands what all that means. So let's get back to the class and everything. You wanted to learn more skills.
I wanted to up my game on my hunting pouch making.
Mm-hmm. Now, you bought Mr. Scott's DVD.
Yes, and I learned a lot.
Yeah, that was months ago. You haven't been into the hunting pouches really that long.
Because I didn't know really how to start off.
Right. It's been has it been a year?
It's a little over a year.
Little over a year. And you've dabbled in it, but the more that you do it, you post things online and on the process that you're doing and things like that. So that is really cool. You know what I've observed?
What's that?
That this is very similar to any one of our listeners that may have a day job, but want to do something on the side and maybe grow that to be their full-time gig. And you just kind of have to start and be consistent. So not that you can ever leave Scrivener Solutions. We signed papers, so
yeah, I'm committed now.
We're married, so not that you'll ever leave Scrivener Solutions. However, what if your bag making turned into something that you love doing and it provides an income and you don't have to do so much of the Scrivener Solutions stuff? We hire somebody else to do that. Oh, you just had a light bulb.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of like the same thing of you're working a day job that you not necessarily like. Not that you don't like working with Scrivener Solutions,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you want something different. You want some freedom. And you're sitting at your day job in a cubicle and you're like, oh, what can I be doing? Well, you've got to earn the income on your day job. What is it that you really, really like on the side that you can't get enough of? I remember vividly the day that when you were sewing up a bag, that you were saying, I think I could just do this all the time.
Yeah.
And that's something that you really, really like. You're just really deep into it.
Look at me now.
I know.
How many bags we got?
Plenty.
Not enough. There's always that one more.
No, not enough at all. But what I've observed is that you're doing all this marketing stuff and you're being consistent. First of all, you're honing your craft. So you've gone to the classes. You've bought the DVD. You've gone to the classes, and you're actually you're making the bags. You're sharing your experiences online.
Mm-hmm.
You're going into groups and making conversation in these groups on Facebook or on Instagram, and you're commenting on other stuff, on other people's stuff that they're posting of similar fashion. And you're making friends, right?
That's correct.
Seems simple enough, but that's social networking.
It is.
It is. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Social networking doesn't have to be work.
No. It in order to scale, you'll need to get some systems and systems and consistency in place. But for right now, you're making ripples. People are starting to take notice of what you're doing in the social realm.
Well,
right?
good. That's the way I planned it.
Right. You had thrown up a bag, a little bag that fits a secrets box. Remember that?
Yeah.
And you were just experimenting. It was just a little thing, and you threw it up onto a Facebook group, didn't you?
Yes.
And what happened immediately after?
Is it for sale?
Exactly.
I said, the new hasn't worn off of it yet.
You turned that one down, but you're getting interest.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I'm so proud of you. That's pretty cool.
It is.
Well, then you go, my observation is you want to hone your craft, and so you go to a class.
I did.
You met with people that are more experienced
There you go.
in the hunting pouch craft. I guess that's what it is. And I know that you titled those individuals something. What did you say? You were excited when you came back to the hotel. You were among...
I was among my people. Also, I was hanging out with hunting pouch royalty.
That's the term that you would say.
Yes.
And that is so true. And learning from them, getting their perspective, and just becoming friends. That was great.
It was. I'd do it again next year.
And what was funny is that there was somebody that you met and was talking with and went back to the room to try to follow them on Facebook, and lo and behold, you were already following them and already had conversations with them.
I was on his recommended list.
And so he reached out to you.
And he followed me because I was on his recommended, suggested friends to follow, and ended up being in class together, even though he was from Colorado.
Yeah.
I know he's in Indiana.
Yeah.
Small world.
It is a small world.
And there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 in that class.
Do you know what you were doing?
I was networking.
Right.
I was networking. There we go.
You
Say
were
it with confidence.
You were networking.
Yeah.
In your mind, really, what has been the definition of networking?
Usually dressing up a little bit, going to a social event and mingling with people that,
It's not
really into that sort of thing.
Right. And
I didn't dress up one time at this event.
Well, thank goodness you were dressed.
I did not wear a dress.
No, you did not wear a dress. No.
But I was mingling with people and talking and networking and didn't know it.
Right. Until I brought it up that, what you're doing is networking.
Mm-hmm.
You're accustomed to going to associating networking with business networking. And a lot of folks get uncomfortable with that because you feel like you have to act or be a certain way, and you're out of your element, and you're trying to sell to somebody, and it is uncomfortable because I don't like it either, honestly, and I drag you to a whole bunch of business stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And when you change the perspective of going to different events for the purpose of being with like-minded people and not trying to sell to people. See, you didn't have any preconceived ideas going to your event at Conner Prairie to sell anything to anybody.
No.
It was purely to learn something, and you've made friends, but you're making connections. Because what came through that is that Ken Scott asked us about putting his CD online, or how can he digitize it to where he's not shipping out a CD. And we talked about different alternatives. And whether that comes out of anything, I don't know, but it made for good conversation because you have experience with that. That made us have a connection with somebody else who produces his CDs, and just talking with folks. And the more that we know about other folks and trying to solve other problems, whether we do that or somebody else, it's just in helping people. Yep. And I know that in networking, traditional networking, and there's a whole slew of books and podcasts and everything on how to network better and how to dress and how to interact. And to me, if you just take a deep breath and just genuinely have good conversations, it just happens.
Yeah. Just like that.
Yeah. And it's funny when the networking, you guys were talking about common individuals that you knew that you had met. Like you met Too-Tall?
Mm-hmm.
And almost everybody in the room, at least a couple people knew.
Yeah, who he was.
Yeah.
And we met him at a trade fair in Concordia,
Missouri.
Yeah.
And it's when you truly network, you figure out how small the world really is. You really do.
The more people you talk to, the smaller it gets.
Yes. And I see this, though, very similar. I like and I'm interested in becoming a better copywriter.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I go to those events like we did in Franklin, Tennessee for Ray Edwards.
Yep.
And I not only learned, but I met individuals. Maybe I saw them in years prior because we've gone to the same event, or meeting new people, and we have the like-minded desire to become better writers. So I think that when you're trying to start a business or trying to create income of some kind, whether through your hobby or through turning your hobby into something of a full-time business, breaking it down and just knowing that the foundation is building relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love that you're doing that.
Me too. I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
It is. What makes it fun?
It's something that I like.
Yeah, you just can't explain it, can
Nope.
you?
It's something that you like that doesn't seem like work. Why not do it?
Well, now you're about into the next stages. You belong to an association. What is that association?
Contemporary Long Rifles Association.
That's a pretty cool thing. They have really some big events. What's on our docket for next year?
The CLA show in Lexington, Kentucky.
What happens there?
That is where all the artisans that make period pieces from 1700s on up to about mid 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think they get into the Civil War era, but before Civil War, all get together, congregate, and have a big show in Lexington.
Wow.
And pretty much everything's for sale.
Are you going to...
I am going.
You're going, but are you going to have a table
I
there?
don't know. That's still debatable yet.
What time of year?
October this year, this coming year, 2020.
It's in October.
Yeah, usually, second or third weekend, and then August.
But they've changed it.
They changed it because they're building a new building.
Oh, well, cool. Are you a little nervous about...
Oh, yes.
about showing? That's why you have
Why
to kind of...
is my stuff good enough to be in such a place? And
I think we all feel that way. I feel that way in my writing.
Yep.
Because in going to...
Am I doing things correctly?
Yeah.
Is it...
what are other people going to say?
Yeah. But I did get some great advice from Eddie Rector.
What was that?
Make what you like to make.
Yeah. Make what you like to make. And I know that of you. I knew by looking at your work before you went to the class that it was of high quality, and with each bag you're getting better, and your creativity was just coming out. And it's hard to choose which bag I'm going to use as a purse today because I will switch them around. But had the class given you confidence of putting your work onto the CLA's website?
Yes.
Because they have a marketplace that's part of your membership.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you were apprehensive about selling anything.
Yeah. Is it appropriate? Is it of the time period look? Is it properly stitched?
Yeah.
Proper materials used? That sort of thing.
And underlying, when we first start, I think a lot of us wonder, are we good enough? And I think that going to your class, you had gotten some affirmation that of the experts that they thought your work was good enough.
Yeah.
So
why not?
Why not?
Throw it on there.
From now till next October, I'm going to really be encouraging you because I know that your work is good enough.
Make bags.
Your work is good enough to put at the CLA show. I know it is.
Make bags and little accoutrements.
Yeah.
The little stuff.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose to show
Nothing.
it off? Yeah.
Just good time.
Yeah.
With, other like-minded people.
And just going out there, because I love that Ken Scott, I mean, he holds these classes. He has a CD teaching others. And he is, he's the experienced ones.
He's made bags for, about 700 bags, he thinks.
Wow.
And
he sells them to like movies
he's
and stuff.
Done, I think The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh.
Made the bag for that. The Alamo with, what's his head?
Not Kevin Costner, is it?
No, the other Alamo.
Okay.
What
is his name? Billy Bob Thornton?
That's it.
I got it.
You got it. Yeah, that guy. He's made, I think 3 bags for that. They all looked alike in case one got damaged.
Wow.
But yeah, his bags have been in movies.
That is
pouches.
So cool. I can see you transitioning because first, right now, you're in the mode of making a name for yourself in that niche. And so you're causing ripples there. You're getting to know people, and you're becoming known in that niche. I think that's the first step.
The stuff I like about a pouch is not, just fold it together and stitch it up. I like the rolled edges, the small little fringe welts.
It's the artistry of it.
Something makes it a little bit, put some more time into it.
It's the artistry.
The line, fully lined. Yeah.
And then you're getting to know people. That's the networking part of it. The next step is you're actually going to have some sort of transaction to sell things.
Yep.
Because nobody's going to buy unless you just
it's for sale or adoption.
That's right.
You can adopt this bag, take it home today.
And then in all of our business, it starts with the networking, then we're selling stuff, and then we move up to maybe we're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
We're teaching others. I can see that you'll transition into teaching the next generation, just like Ken Scott was teaching you, because of his experience. Really
picking up where he's leaving off, it's
right.
He's getting up in age, and I'm wanting to learn everything I can from him.
Mm-hmm. And you can have that tradition move on, and you may not be thinking of it in that terms, but you're doing all the right things to where this is a perfect opportunity to be your full-time gig.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen overnight. And I think when people start a business, when they stop working their day job, they immediately think that they should be making exactly what they did at the day job, but they haven't done the foundational work of growing their network and building those relationships that they need to convert.
Yeah.
But I wanted to bring you on to identify, no, that's not the right word, to illustrate that you can really earn a living on almost anything.
Yeah, it's
really.
out there.
It's out there. There's potential there, and it is super wonderful to do what you love.
Yes.
And not that you don't love working with Scrivener Solutions.
Oh, I do.
You better.
That's right. I do.
Because what your talents are with Scrivener Solutions is a different set of creativity. You put in work for editing podcasts and helping with photography editing, and that takes a bit of creativity, but that's digital stuff, and you're talented in that. But your true love, and that's work.
Yeah,
it's work. It pays the bills. But your artist part of you of building the bags, heck, that may pay for our next overlanding vehicle.
What?
What?
Say it ain't so.
I'm thinking that. But
You're thinking big.
I'm thinking big. And that overlanding vehicle has to have space enough to
where I can work.
Have for your leather work to be a work from anywhere type
I've got
thing.
the perfect vehicle in mind.
I know. You gotta put me on board for that.
No, you're not fully on board for it yet. It's unique.
It is unique. I think I'm almost there.
And it's in our budget.
Yep. Excellent.
So.
Just sell a few bags.
Okay.
Sell one bag for that amount of the vehicle.
Okay. Twist my arm.
Twist your arm. Well, Robert, I'm glad that you joined me for this show for today, and hopefully giving our listeners a different perspective.
Oh, it'll be different.
Oh, I know.
It's from me.
Hopefully they haven't not turned off the podcast by this point. I hope that
if they made it this far,
thank you.
Yes.
If you've made it this far, thank you. And if you found this show at all helpful, I would really enjoy and appreciate you subscribing. You can always contact me at info@scrivenersolutions.com if you have any ideas for or questions that you'd like for me to address on the show. And until next time, have a fantastic week.